Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. It's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. Don't hate. Don't tear other people down. Don't prejudge. Try to love. Talk to your kids. That's primarily what this episode's about. This video comes from Belief in Fatherhood, BELEAF, in fatherhood. And normally we don't show videos in its entirety, but this one is too important. It's something everybody needs to hear. Now, I also founded an organization, a movement called EAR, End All Racism. And this ties in with what we're doing there. Let's listen.
And then we get a call from our nanny. Now, our nanny is out with both of our children, well, all four of our children, and she's like crying. And so my wife and I are like panicking, like, what the heck is going on? Never heard this woman cry before, never been alarmed like this or whatever. But we're like, Lexi, what is happening? You know what I'm saying? And so one thing we should mention is that, our nanny's been with us for, I think, around 7-8 months. She is white, and she's, very, very good at her job. She loves on the kids like crazy. And we found her through our church. Amazing, amazing person. And we're pretty blessed to have her. But I bring that up because, she was crying and she was like, I'm on my way home, but some kids at the park were really mean to the kids, to our kids. And so I'm like putting on my shoes, ready to head out to the park, you know what I'm saying, and handle business, because I don't really take anything, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, if she's at the park, I got to get to the park so I can see what's happening. And Yvette was like, chill, she's on her way home. And basically, she was very distraught, explaining, that some kids at the park are really mean. And that's normal for us. Like, we know mean kids all the time. I don't know what would be happening with these kids. But when she got home, we had to kind of debrief with the children. But before we did that, we wanted to get the full story from Lexi. So Lexi told us, she said, we were at the park, we're hanging out, and these kids are there. And when we show up, these kids said, bad guys, bad guys. And Lexi's kind of like, she didn't take offense, but she was just kind of like, that's weird, you know what I mean? And then she heard like one of the taller kids say, who had to be around, I guess she said he was like 6, closer to Uriah's age, so like 6 or 7. And she heard him go, black people are bad. We got to stay away from the black people, to these other group of children, And so Lexi walked over and said, what did you say? Like that. And then the kid goes, black people, my mom said black people are bad, like that. And then Lexi goes, well, your mom's a liar. Shout out to Lexi, man, because she's a real one. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, Lexi is an adult, you know what I'm saying? And, she's white, you know what I mean? So she kind of spoke up for our kids, you know what I mean, who she knows and loves and is always around. And, she was just kind of like saying, like, your mom's wrong, your mom's a liar, your mom's lied to you. And, that's not nice, you know what I mean? So she's kind of like trying to make sure the kids are just playing nice. And she doesn't know if our kids heard anything. So Lexi's getting super emotional, and that's when she gave us a call. I wanted to share with you not only Lexi's perspective, but we had to kind of debrief with the kids. So we had a conversation with the children, and we wanted to ask them some questions about their experience today. And I was hoping that the conversation would be very informative, you know what I mean? And that they would have a lot to say. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to film it because I felt like the camera would be distracting to the conversation, but I did catch the audio. So I'm going to let you listen to this, and you'll see the kids' faces over like who's talking at the time. But I just want you to listen to this conversation because...
Before this conversation starts, I want to pause it just momentarily. You know, we're very well aware that there is systemic racism. There's racism built into the various systems and structures in the country. But racism is also generational. And for the white folks that are listening, talk to your kids, talk to your grandkids. Make sure that truth overrides hate, and take back your soul. Do what's right. Now, not every person in every race is going to be good. It's not about, you can't judge good and bad by pigment of the skin, any pigment of the skin, or lack of pigment for those that prefer to call us colorless, you know. Hey, I can put up with that. What I have trouble putting up with is hate. And that's why we've done EAR. And this video's just makes me more and more aware that we're on the right path and doing the right thing with EAR.
You get to hear like my children's first racial experience, you know?
And one more thing, we also learn that in what's coming up, we learn that kids listen to other kids, and what you teach is going to be taught. So be careful what you teach your kids, because they suck it up. And we also learn the importance of brothers, as you'll hear the younger brother echo the older brother's sentiments. And we just need to be more aware as humans of how dark a world it really, really is. It really is.
Yeah.
And they said white people and black people are enemies.
You heard them say that?
Yes.
What else did they say? So how did that make you guys feel?
First of all, he wasn't talking to us when he said that. When he just said that, I was gonna be annoyed. Dad? So he was like, I don't think we should trust those black people because you remember what my mom said? So you know how we've been wrong about that time when white people and black people don't get along, and white people get to go on the front of the bus and black people get to go on the back. So the big kid thinks it's still like that. He thinks like black people and white people are enemies.
Okay, in case you didn't understand what the little boy said there, he said, you remember how we talked about white people would sit at the front of the bus and black people would sit at the back of the bus? And he said the little white boy said it's still that way, that white people and black people are enemies. It's being taught. It's being taught.
That's what he said.
So how did it make you guys feel?
They didn't care. I didn't care.
Well, are you saying you didn't care because you don't want to feel like your feelings were hurt, or did you really want to be friends with them, and then you were upset because, why are you kicking me? Get up. It's okay. It's okay if it hurts your feelings. It's okay to be sad. We just want to know how it makes you feel. You don't have to hide if it makes you feel bad.
Okay, it does make me feel bad.
It does make you feel bad.
No, I did not say that.
You don't have to pretend to be strong if you're not strong right now.
How did it make you feel, Rival?
You want to leave where?
Like somewhere where those kids are not going to go.
Little boy said when he grows up, he wants to leave. He wants to go somewhere where those kids are not going to go. He doesn't want to be around that kind of hate, and I don't blame him a bit.
Like New York. Me too. I'm leaving
New York? New York? Well, people are like that in New York too, buddy.
I just never want to. Every time when I see them, I'm going to leave to somewhere else.
You don't have to leave because they should leave, buddy. They have something wrong with them in their heart. But you know what's crazy?
What?
Is that their parents told them that. So the parents are the ones that told them that.
I know. Well, all the kids were never thinking about that. Only one of the kids told them. One of the kids told the other kids, so he believed it.
So the other kids were listening to that one kid?
Yeah.
So do you see how important leadership is in a person? And
Be
what do you
careful
think
who you
the
follow.
right leader would have been?
I do not know. That's why I think the right thing to be a leader is to be nice. And that kid was not nice.
Yeah. It's okay to correct people too and tell them that they're wrong about you.
Yeah, but I was trying to, but I just was too angry.
Yeah. That's good, Raya.
Me too. I too. So like when that kid said that, I was trying to say that hey, we have white friends, you know.
Yeah.
They're the best.
You even have a white nanny who loves you so much. And you guys love her.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to feel like you guys feel. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to feel that way. That's really sad. I'm sorry that happened to you today. But some people are just like that. But it's good. Remember we told you guys a long time ago, like some people look at the skin that you have and they see they don't treat you like everyone else. Remember we told you that a long time ago?
Yeah.
In the garage?
They're talking in the garage.
Oh, yeah.
And we told you guys that was going to happen sometimes.
Yeah, but I don't like it.
I don't like it happening either. It's happened to me. It happened to mommy. Our whole lives it's happened.
What? Is that true? Who did that to you guys?
We don't know their names because we don't care to know them. If they don't like us, then it really doesn't.
They're the ones that are missing out.
Yeah.
Isn't there the book with that girl?
Sue.
Yeah. Sue.
Now, I could edit this and cut out this ad, but I'm not because this book, in my opinion, needs promoted.
Hey, let's read that book because you know, like right now. Can we read it?
Sometimes it just happens that way. We don't really know, like, there are different genes that we all carry and they look different on each of us. So sometimes we come out looking different. Like, I feel like my older brother Anthony is darker than me to see for herself. Soleil felt beautiful inside and outside.
You said you pooped on the ladder.
You guys like that book?
Can I? Yes. Can I have it?
I don't want to hear ever, about how you shouldn't talk to your kids about race and Black people shouldn't tell their children about what happened in the past or whatever. I feel way more affirmed that we had the conversation with Theo and Uriah last year about their Black skin. I feel
That conversation is in another episode in this series. Again, this is Belief in Fatherhood, BELEAF in Fatherhood, and I highly recommend you watch that series.
feel better that we talked to them about that because we were able to call it to their recollection when we were having this discussion today. And even the first discussion we had about race, when they were sitting in our bed asking, why am I black? Anaya is still brown.
Okay, so you are brown.
Mm-hmm.
You are brown.
Yes.
And you are brown. I'm brown.
Now listen.
No, I'm black.
Okay, listen. This stuff is never going anywhere. I'm hopeful that it will, but I can't bank on it.
And that's why we're doing EAR, because it's not going to go anywhere unless people stand up, and like-minded people now have a place to stand up and a movement to get behind.
You know, for me, it's kind of sad that people like always have their own thoughts. Like, it's Black History Month, and somehow this little boy got the understanding that Black people were the problem. You know what I'm saying? And that is crazy to me. Yeah, it hurts my heart, man. It makes me sad and tired, but also very affirmed about the work we need to be doing. I'm glad that my children could have a safe space to express themselves and talk about how sad they were and how they wanted to be the kids' friends, but there was just this thing, you know, in the way. And we tried to encourage them and tell them not to fight fire with fire. Don't let yourself get picked on. But at the same time, like, don't like understand that people are some people are just not smart. Like, they don't have the intellect to, like, you know, deal with other people like that. And it's just kind of sad and unfortunate. So yeah, if you are a Black parent, please have the conversation about race with your children. It is super important. We don't want our children to be blindsided when they step outside. I'm very thankful and grateful for my wife for even being a part of these conversations and being able to kind of lead some of them. And if you are a white parent and you're kind of like, don't know what to do, and you're trying to find a way to be offended, you know what I'm saying? Like, check yourself.
Take back your soul.
Like,
take back your
check
soul.
yourself, because we got to do this either way. You ain't got to do it. You know what I'm saying? We got to do this either way. But if you're called to and you want to make a difference and a change, have the conversation about race with your children. Mind you, when this kid said Black people are bad, he was talking to a group of other children. So he was teaching them. That is the cycle that we're dealing with. We're dealing with generational crap. And so if you refuse to have the conversation and think, my kid doesn't have a racist bone in his body, and I don't have a racist bone in my body, like, you are part of the problem. You're not anti. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna continue. You know what I'm saying? Black History Month or not, like, I'm gonna continue to stay Black and keep doing exactly what we're doing right now. Being always Black, telling people Black is beautiful, telling our children this, making sure they understand it, making sure that their children don't deal with it. Like, it's a long road. I'd appreciate not doing it alone, but whether you want help or not, this is what we on. So, I mean, take it how you want. So this was my initial reaction. There's a couple things I want to say. I'm just really proud of my children for even having a desire to recall something that made them feel good about their skin. So Dio just saying, like, oh, remember that book? And then everybody's like, yeah, Sulway, like, let's read that book, because it made them feel good. And so if you're an artist, author, or anything, a photographer, videographer, MC, whatever you are, keep doing what you're doing, because it's so valuable for our children to be able to have that in their recollection, and build upon that, and know that they can have, even when they feel low, there's substance somewhere that can make them feel better. So I'm just encouraged by that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Protect your life, keeping up with popping.
There we go. That's why we're doing EAR. So people understand there's proof that not all white people are the same, not all black people are the same, that not all brown people, not all yellow, not all people are the same, that there can be unity across pigment of skin, working for the same thing, ending all racism, equal treatment for all. And I am proud to announce that we are offering charter memberships to EAR. The first 50 members will become charter members. They'll get a nice plastic charter membership card, a certificate, t-shirt, and of course be able to come to all the virtual EAR meetings. The t-shirt is going to look like the logo back here, only it's going to be in black on a white t-shirt. So, and we've got 2X, XL, large, mediums, and smalls. So those are going to be available. The first 50 charter members of EAR. We've got it in a place now. We're rolling it out, and it's taken 2 months to get here because we've done it the right way. And I'm very proud to be part of that, and I'm very proud to be working with members of all communities into trying to end racism. So we'll be talking more about that, about the charter memberships and how you can be one of the first 50 coming up throughout continuing episodes. I wanted to just do a quick weekly wrap of what happened last week. We had Galaxy on, Mr. Galaxy, former member of the Boogaloo, and we also had Comedic King on, and we had True Soldier on, the real True Soldier on. Go back and check those episodes. Some people like to kind of try to attack this show, this platform, and me. But what we do is we let people come on here and speak their truths, and unabridgedly. And if me talking with strong young black men or with powerful black women is offensive to some people, that's your problem. This is a show. This isn't a show about tearing people down and trying to get views. This is a show about the truth. The truth doesn't pay as much as controversy, and that's what we try to walk a different. We try to take the road less traveled, if you would. So past couple of episodes have been on what's happening in Louisville, and we're not going to forget Louisville now that the 1-year anniversary of it's not really an anniversary, but the marking 1 year since Breonna Taylor got killed. We're not going to forget about Louisville at all. We're not going to forget about, this world this nation has so many wounds, so many stab wounds, gunshot wounds in it. A lot of them we know about: Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, a lot of the names. But the video we just watched were little tiny stab wounds that we're not aware of unless people like that man have the courage to let us in and see those. That impacted that young black boy to hear that black people are bad. That impacted those young black men, those not little black men, those young children, those young black children. It impacted them to hear that black people can't be trusted. Now, some black people can't be trusted. Some white people can't be trusted. Some, so while it is, two things can be true at one time. Okay, there are some people that can't be trusted, but that doesn't mean all of everybody, all of any one pigment of skin, shade of shade of skin, whatever terms you may want to use. And sometimes we get caught up in that, and that's incredibly dangerous. And sometimes we see the police get caught up in that. And I think that might be, if you watch the part 2 of Louisville episode from beginning to end, you'll see there wasn't any trouble at all. People were not blocking the roads. They were on different sides of the roads chanting back and forth to each other. The police come up, it escalates into what had to be a vast majority percentage of the Louisville police officers and equipment being at this one location on River Road. And it just has to make you wonder what's going on in the rest of Louisville. What's happening in the rest of Louisville while you're out there making sure those people don't destroy a park. And they weren't destroying anything, and they haven't been. You know, that narrative is false. We covered it night after night after night, and I watch it every single day. It's not always on the show, but I'm always monitoring it. And the second night in Louisville, the second night of protests, there was rioting, if you will. There was looting. There were some fires set, but not buildings. And Louisville's been carrying it on. And there are those that are ready for it to stop in Louisville, and it's time to move on. But how do you stop? How do you stop injustice? You got to keep calling attention to it. You got to keep calling attention to it, in my opinion. Okay. So I also want to mention our buddy Chris. There's a lot going on in the rest of the world as well that could potentially impact us and could potentially change our lives like that I haven't been talking about. And we're going to have Chris on here real soon. I'm stacked up as far as episodes, but possibly Iranian terror cells in Washington, D.C. Possibly China has now by far the largest navy in the world. Are they going to use it to sail over here? A lot of stuff that could potentially, again, impact our lives that I haven't been talking about. And we're going to be talking about that. But other stuff's coming up at the moment. And again, thank you for watching. It's always greatly appreciated. And I love y'all. I sincerely do. Again, first 50 charter memberships now available for EAR. You'll get a nice little plastic card that says charter member of EAR 2021, and certificate, and the t-shirt, and membership. So you'll be able to be at all the meetings. And we thank you in advance for those that are wanting to do that. Email me, americandufus@gmail.com, and I'll tell you how to get that membership for EAR. Now, final thing, EAR and American Doofus are separate. Okay, I talk about EAR here on the Doofus Show. All the money right now, all the money in EAR is going to EAR. I'm not making a dime off of EAR at the moment. Everything's being rolled back in to build the movement. I'm not making anything on it at the moment. I got myself in kind of a problem. All right. Kay passed away, as most of you know. And those that don't know, Kay was my partner, my lover, my best friend, my roommate. And she took care of the mail and of, paying the bills out of my account and all that kind of stuff. And I thought my gas bill for heat, hot water, and cooking, I thought it was being taken out automatically. And it hadn't been. And it hadn't been paid since it hadn't been paid since January, or I'm sorry, it hadn't been paid since July of last year. And the only reason it hadn't been cut off earlier was because of the cold weather. And I'm in a bit of a bind. I owe like $456, $456.63. And that's with reconnect and deposit and paying the back bill. I keep it cold in here anyway, not that I prefer it, but just to try to save money. So the majority of it is of expenditure, but I need some help if you can. It would be greatly appreciated. Cash App is American Doofus, all one word. I hate doing this. I hate asking for help, but I need some help at this time. You don't see things constantly running across the bottom. I don't do that kind of stuff. But at this time, I need some help if you can. And I'm reaching out in hopes that it'll get a little relief coming in here. And because I think what we're doing is important. I think there's it's not in place of anything. It's in addition to everything else that's going on. We try to be a positive influence in a negative world. We try to be a light in a world of darkness. And if you've enjoyed what we've been trying to do for the last 9 months, please consider a Cash App donation. You can look me up on PayPal, Barry Welsh. It makes me sick doing it, but I have to at this time. And I thank you all for putting up with that. Okay. Back to real business to close out. Tuesday is live open forum where we talk about anything that's on your mind. I take your questions, your comments. And last week we talked about rap and talked about music a lot. So you never know what's going to happen on a Tuesday night. Tomorrow night, I'm not sure what's going to happen yet. Simply because of things I can't speak of at the moment. But we got a busy week coming up, and I hope you'll be back with us because it's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. I'm your host, Barry Welsh. And until next time, I sincerely do love you all. I really do. Wish you nothing but peace. Wish you nothing but blessings and blessings of health, blessings of prosperity, and blessings of love. Is the most powerful is love. I love you all. Until next time. Good night.